Alright, we're gonna do something fun here today. I've been wanting to do more video game content, especially retro video game content. And I happened upon a YouTube video last night called How Many Classic Arcade Games Can You Name from 7 Seconds of Gameplay? And there are 40 of them. And I watched the first one. I know what the first one is. I knew it anyway. But I'm going to do the rest of it live right now. And I'm guessing I can get at least 37, 38. Maybe I can get the whole 40. We will find out right now. I'm going to go through it right now. Let's do it. And you can play along with me if you haven't already done this. 40 games. Let's see how many I can get. I think I'm going to smoke this, but we will find out if I get humbled or not. This is Kangaroo. I knew this one right off the bat, because I loved the Atari 2600 version of this. Specifically, they made a really great port of it, so I knew that one right away. I had the blessing of being able to play all these. This is the original Mario Brothers. I knew that one immediately as well. I used to like playing this with my friend and like deliberately killing my friend by bumping him into a turtle that was not flipped over. That was always fun. We called it Killer Brothers. We'd play, but we'd try to kill the other guy. Disc of Tron. Disc of Tron. If I have the magnet for it, I'm going to put it up on the refrigerator. Disc of Tron, one of my favorite games of all time. Fantastic, fantastic game. If you haven't had a chance to play it in a barcade, go and play it. They have it at the Chelsea Barcade. This is Puyon. And most people will know this because it was on a lot of the Namco compilations, like the early ones. That's how, I think it was Namco compilation. It was on a compilation. I remember that's why I was like, oh yeah, Puyon. Okay, this is Tempest, one of my absolute favorites. Tempest 2000, even better. I have the Tempest magnet, so we got Tempest on this list already. I also, let me pause this for 1 second, have my favorite drinking vessel. Here it is. My favorite drinking vessel is my Tempest pint glass. Constantly use that. Got that when I went over to Replay FX back in the day out in Pittsburgh. So yeah, Tempest, that's another easy one. Let's just keep flying through these things right now. Dragon's Lair. Love this. Won this back in the arcade. I was obsessed with this when I was a kid. I loved all of the Laserdisc games. We got the Dragon's Lair. Magnet, we'll put that up on the board here. Sinistar. One of the first truly scary games as a kid. Really interesting mechanics of motion in that game. Really fun physics for that game, and legitimately scary. Now we have Marble Madness. This is another one. I don't think I have the magnet for this. I think maybe I used to. I don't know where that went. This was amazing because all you had was a trackball to maneuver down an obstacle course. Beautiful graphics. Here's Qbert. Qbert, fantastic game. Love the fact that you could die immediately just by not understanding how the game works. They don't make games like that anymore because people would rage quit them, but back in the day, if you screwed up and you died, that was too bad for you. Alright, this is Super Pac-Man. This is a fun Pac-Man variant that people don't get a chance to play as often, but I really like Super Pac-Man a lot. It's different because it has the keys and the gates, and you can become Big Pac-Man and eat everything. Here's Mr. Do, another classic. I really like Mr. Do's Wild Ride, especially that's when you're moving around on a amusement park, and there's all sorts of different amusement rides. This is RoboCop. Yeah, so we're getting all different eras here. Thank you for your cooperation. Love the way they digitize the audio into this. Really good game. Obviously, we have Contra here. I think Contra is maybe the most loved home version game. When that came out for the Nintendo, it was just huge. Everyone knows the codes put in. Here's Food Fight. This had a fun thing where if you had a really cool board, a lot of action, they would do a replay of the round. I thought that was amazing. I wish more games did that. I have the Food Fight magnet to put up here. I know this one just by the music. This is Bubble Bobble. This is probably one of the best theme songs ever. Just will stick in your head forever. I'm sure there are all sorts of good remixes. I should do a search for that. Here's Burger Time. Yeah, I don't think I need more than 1 second to do most of these. Burger Time, really fun game. Interesting play mechanics where you kind of wait for the different villains to get on half of the bun with you and then send them down. Here's Frogger, another game with an absolutely fantastic home version Parker Brothers made for the Atari 2600. Great game. We'll put that one up on the board here. And we have Defender. This is the original Defender, not the sequel Stargate. This is another game that the first time you play it, if you don't know what you're doing, you will last 4 or 5 seconds, if that. But then if you have the right mindset, you're going to come back and try to beat it. This is Scramble. It's not Super Cobra. This is Scramble. This has a one move where you have to go down this cave, but if you either know it or you don't know how to do that. Journey. Fantastic game right here. Hold on, I'm gonna have to do another pause here. Show another visual that's applicable to this. Got my Journey Escape t-shirt right here. Proud of it. Let me get that nice for the camera. There we go. The Journey Escape t-shirt. This game was amazing because they digitized the pictures of the 5 members of Journey, and each of the mini games was only okay, but just the idea that you're hearing 5 different Journey songs and you're seeing the characters. People love this game even though it wasn't technically great. All right, here we go. Track and field. Hit the buttons as fast as you can and then hit the jump button in order to do the 110-meter hurdles. People were addicted to this game when this first came out. I remember this. So I would be 10 years old when I was playing this. Here's Arkanoid, which is a expansion remix of Breakout. Basically took Breakout and made it even better with the power-ups that came up. And then they had another sequel called it Arkanoid 2, The Revenge of Doe. Alright, this one is Lunar Lander. This is an early Vector Atari game, and they integrated this into the Atari 50 compilation game, which I absolutely love playing. Vector Sector. Paperboy, one of my favorite games of all time. One of the things that made Paperboy great was the interface, the bicycle handle interface. We'll put Paperboy up on the board. I know I had the Paperboy one here, at least I used to. All right, we'll figure that one out. Okay, Double Dragon. Double Dragon. People love beat 'em ups. When you go onto YouTube, you see people's top games of all time. They always talk about Double Dragon. They always talk about bad dudes. Here's Spy Hunter. Best played with the sit-in cockpit version, surrounded by the speakers playing the Peter Gunn theme. Fantastic game at its time. Everyone loved playing this. All right, now we have Road Blasters from Atari. This was an interesting combination of shooting and driving. This is the original Street Fighter, Street Fighter 1. Very humble beginning for an amazing franchise. I actually like Street Fighter 1. I watched a YouTube video where they just completely drag it. At the time, it was really good because before this was Karate Champ, which I also loved. We can put Karate Champ on the board here too. Karate Champ was a fantastic game, especially because it was featured in Bloodsport. Street Fighter, bad controls, bad physics, bad everything, but it did lay down the groundwork for a classic game after that. So I don't hate on it like everyone else does. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm Frank Dukes.
And I love the fact that when you pass the board, it would be like, excellent, but don't forget that there are many other people all over the world that did the same exact thing.
But don't forget there are many dogs all over the world.
All right, here's Donkey Kong Jr., which is a lot of fun. Great motion through this game. You move faster if you're going up with 2 hands, but you go faster down if you go with 1. The original Pac-Man. This is the one that started it all. And what was crazy about this is there was an actual pattern that you could learn that would get you through a lot of the game, and then you try to learn the pattern. Here is Zaxxon. This is another game that if people didn't understand the isometric 3D view and that meter on the left, which was telling you your altitude, you would not live in this game. It looked really cool. It was like the first 3D isometric game, but people took a little while to understand it. Here's Altered Beast. There he is changing into the werewolf there. Classic game. Love the dialogue. Love the beginning of that game. Classic Sega. That and Golden Axe were the ones that kind of put Genesis on the map. Here's Hang On, also from that Sega era. Great driving game. Really have that feeling of speed. Took like what pole position had and then took it to the next level in terms of it looks similar if you look at the tracks. This is 1941, 1942. I think it's 1941. Maybe I'm wrong on this. 1942. Okay, yeah. I knew what the game was. We'll give myself half credit on that. One of my favorite games to play right now, Pango. Phenomenal game, super fun. Let's put that one up on the board here. What a fun game Pango is. Lots of strategy. Different music playing right now, though. I don't know what this music is because that's not the music that plays in Pango. Golden Axe, I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about Altered Beast. I love it when you get to ride on that pink creature guy. That's always a fun flex. Golden Axe, fantastic game with the D&D elements to a bash 'em up. This is Choplifter. I love Choplifter. This is another game. This is a lot of fun to play this because you're trying to rescue these people in this helicopter and then bring them over to a base and you try to keep them alive, but there's all different gameplay elements. Okay, I don't know what football game this is. This is a rare... I've never seen this football game before. I don't know if it's a... Oh wow, this is an arcade version of Tecmo Bowl. Okay, never seen this before. I love Tecmo Bowl. Looks a lot better than the Tecmo Bowl I used to play. Obviously, we have Mortal Kombat. So let's put Mortal Kombat up on the board. I know I have Mortal Kombat here. I'll find it. Here it is. Mortal Kombat. Raiden's my favorite character. We got Galaxians right here. So I'm going to get like a 38.5. I'll give myself half credit for 1942. And I did not know Tecmo Bowl arcade version. Never saw that before. Even though I love Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl. So 38.5 out of 40. I feel good about it. Super fun video. I love stuff like this. I hope you enjoyed playing along. And I'm going to put some more retro arcade game content on this channel. Representing hard work and talent, this is Sean the Storm Grant. My next video game content will be my top 100 video games of my lifetime. Not the best games made, but the ones that had the biggest influence in my life, the ones I enjoyed playing the most over my life so far. Have a good one. Take care.